Mike. There we go. I am Mary Ann Sanford, Vice President of Marketing and Development. I think you all know me, and I see all familiar faces out there. So Sean is away at the National Leading Age Conference this week, and so I've been asked to lead CONFAB today. So lucky you and lucky me. Welcome to the October 24 CONFAB. Mike, are you? Yep. The CONFAB rebroadcast schedule is channel 971. It replays Thursday at 11 p.m., Friday and Saturday at 10 a.m., Sunday at 5 p.m., and then 24/7 on the resident website. At the end of CONFAB, if you want to call in to ask a question, you may call in at number 6304. So, catch me at my best. We have two recipients this morning. The first one I'm going to talk about is Savoy White, groundskeeper. Savoy, are you here? There he is. So I am pleased, let me make sure I can hear, to nominate two dedicated grounds team members for their exceptional work and unwavering commitment to maintaining the pristine appearance of our campus, one of whom is Savoy White. These team members have consistently demonstrated a high level of professionalism and attention to detail in their duties, including cutting grass and picking up sticks, among other duties. Their dedication to keeping our campus looking immaculate is truly commendable, and they have undoubtedly played a significant role in creating a welcoming and aesthetically pleasing environment for all members of our community. I wholeheartedly believe that our grounds team members deserve recognition for their outstanding performance and contributions. So Savoy, would you come up and receive your award? All right, our second recipient is Tim Loretta. So during a huge nighttime storm, the clasps on my window screen were torn away. One screen hit and broke the HVAC unit, which resulted in a chemical burning smell. Tim drove from his home to begin the late night repair. Again, my thanks to WC and especially to Tim. And you heard me mention in the when I was giving the award for Savoy, they mentioned two members, and the other member is Chris Duff. He had received the Catch Me at My Best within the last 2 years, so we gave him an honorable mention today. And you can see Johnny Hamlet, Amber Childress, Amy Proctor, and David Reese all received Catch Me at My Best honorable mentions. So a round of applause for the whole group. Thank you. All right, Sandy. There she is.
Guys, get up. Yeah. It's still Christmas that we want to talk about today. Okay, gentlemen, get up. I need to get to my notes here. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's my turn first. My turn. What's our song today? What's our song today? Play a little bit. Okay, Santa Claus is coming to town. Why did I choose that song? When I decided about it, I began to think about the song. And if you remember in the song, it talks about children being what? Naughty or nice. So I began asking some of the staff if they were naughty or nice. nice. Most of the time, we were in agreement. Occasionally, I explained that some have a delightfully entertaining way that we could label as naughty. In a positive way, that is. In fact, I often received a reply of naughty along with a big grin. So let's see who's naughty or nice.
We better watch out. We need to dig deep. There is no doubt. Let's take a big leap. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out who's giving and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town.
We have some more. We have some more coming. But today we have a special guest. And the special guest today is our favorite one, Santa Claus. And our special guest, his helper. Come on down, Santa. Come on down, Mr. Elf. We want to see you. I heard that ho, ho, ho. I'm not sure if you all did. Thank you, Mr. Santa and Mr. Elf.
He knows just what we're needing for those who care for us. We'll try to topple last year's goal, so give for goodness sake. Oh, we better watch out. We need to dig deep. There is no doubt. Let's take a big leap. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed those. We need to emphasize, though, that even though we said naughty, if you'll notice, when it said naughty, what followed the word naughty?
Question marks.
Question marks, right. Just about everybody, I had no trouble when I asked them were they naughty or nice. One, I told him he was going to be nice, and he said, when was I naughty? Or, sorry, naughty. He says, when was I naughty? And I said, you're never naughty. I said, but I'm going to label you as naughty. And that was Phil. And I said, Yvette is nice, so you've got to be naughty. And when I explained it to him a little bit more, he said, okay, I'm naughty. So we appreciate clearly all of them, and many of them are very, very nice. The one that I thought a little bit more as being naughty, and I told him he was naughty, was Jackson. Because as many of you all know, I had PT over there with my knee, and he was the one who, when I left, I felt he was being naughty. But I did thank him. I appreciated what he did for me. Okay, I know you all are anxious to know. Everybody hear me good? That everybody is anxious to know where we are money-wise. And the issue of presenting the information was left to me and given me the information that I need to share with you today on the money. From all the information Laura has given to me, we have, as of October 25th, raised $191,282.75. According to the report in the Residents' Council, which is here in the library, on December 8th of last year, we had $25,000 remaining of Al's money. For those of you that have been around a while, you know that Al Stump gave us $50,000 to use on the Christmas fund. And the committee back then decided not to use it all at once, because trying to make up a difference like that the next year and not go down on the checks would have been very difficult to do. So we've been slowly parceling it out. And according to that report, we had $25,000 left in December. Thus, the usable funds last year was $216,282.75, which includes the balance of $25,000 of Al's gift. So the 216 is thus what we have now with Al's gift. Without it, it was the 191,000. Last year, according to the minutes, the balance on hand in November of 23 was $321,996, which included the $25,000. The total collected last year between December 1, 23 was $321,000, which included it. The total from December 1, 2022 and November 30, 23 was $296,996, which allowed a top check to be sent to the employees. The top one amount was $1,231, which was an increase from the previous year of $210. So the committee decided not to use any of the money that was still left in that fund of $25,000. Since the top check went up, what, $210. That was a big increase. In the past, we've pretty much been trying to come up with an increase from the previous year of $25 or a little bit more. But the main reason for that big increase last year, as all of you know probably, is that Riverside was brand new giving. We had never received from anybody over in Riverside since it didn't exist. But last year was the first year. And that was a big increase in our giving last year, where this year we're only looking at replacement giving. As people move out and people move in, we have replacement. So we don't have brand new monies coming in this year. So as we look to where we are right now, the collection right now was as of October 25th, $191,282.75. So we have from now to November 30th, the monies that still need to come from Melinda for October and November still needs to come in. That should be a fairly good amount that'll be adding to what we give. But we still have a ways to go if we're going to try to at least reach what we raised last year, which was $296,996. And then the question is, how much of Al's money do we really need to use? $25,000 is a lot of money. And so we need to think about how much do we need to use? Maybe not all of it, just part of it. Because then next year we have to try to make up the difference to try to at least match the gift. So where do we stand? Well, we have a ways to go this month if we want to at least match the gift from last year. We need to work at it. And I know that some have not given, and I know that some have already given this month through Melinda, and that money will be coming to the committee. I don't know that they've received it yet for this month, probably not. But the committee will be receiving it from Melinda pretty soon, and we'll know where we stand as we get closer. But we do need to think about seriously, if you have not given, please give. Let's get that money in. If you have given and you can afford to give a little bit more, we could always use a little bit more. So let me encourage you. We just really do need to think about all these wonderful employees. When I think of the naughty and the nice, I think of people like Jackson, like the nurses that give us shots. And those are not necessarily naughty. They're doing things for us that are good for us. And we need to realize that they do a lot of good things for us. When I walked back into my apartment yesterday, the first thing I thought, and I said to Patty, wow, it smells so good in here right now. And this is true for many of us. We walk back into those apartments after they've cleaned, they smell good, they look good, all the things they do for us. We really need to reach out to them and let them know how much we care for them, how much we want to help them. And there are many of them, that money helps them buy gifts for their grandchildren, helps them buy food, and we don't know as much about what the food costs as they do when they walk into the grocery store. But they buy food for their Christmas meal. These are just things that we take for granted. We need to reach out to them and show them how much we appreciate them. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Evie Cox and I have the privilege and the pleasure.
Microphone.
Oh. You want this one? Hello? Oh, yes. Evie Cox and I have the privilege. Okay, all right. Can you hear me now? Yes, you can hear me. Evie Cox and I have the privilege and the luxury and the fun time of planning the employee Christmas party that will take place on December 11th in the Commons and on the bridge to celebrate our employees who contribute to our Life Refreshed here at Westminster, Canterbury, and Lynchburg. There are some 411 employees, approximately. That's including full-time, part-time, seasonal employees, just to give you some idea of what we're working with.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. And thank you. We just want to thank everybody who is going to participate today, and we'll let you know exactly how you might want to participate. But these folks, Angela, these folks that you are going to see now on the next two slides have already been busy helping us plan the Christmas party. So, and we will be happy to add your names to it at the end of this year for next year. So think about what you might want to keep doing. Okay, Mary Ann, you want to show the green sheet?
So, yes. In the captains, there's a captain for each building, and for Bishop's Lane and Westminster Way, and those captains will apply, will ask a representative from every hall to visit, to meet you, to present you, ask you to complete this green form here to say how you would like to help us give this party. We want this to be all-inclusive. We want everyone who wants to volunteer to have a job, and our aim is to employ everyone on that day, to make it a joyous, all-inclusive party. You will be given this sometime in the next 10 days, anytime from tomorrow to the 8th. And it has to be, we ask for it to be returned by the 8th. And it gives you options of how you'd like to help us. Would you like to serve or receive food, or would you like to pour punch, or would you like to have help clean up? And we have a half hour time slots, and we ask you to tell us how you'd like to help. And, or, would you like to bake? Would you like to bake finger food desserts no larger than a mini cupcake that do not have to be refrigerated?
Okay, it is your decision time. Ready?
Ready.
Everybody? So it's your decision time. Listen closely. There is a tear-off sheet on this green sheet. There's a little tear-off section. And you will get the name of your representative who's given it to you. For example, Bonnie Miles gave me my tear-off sheet. and I have to decide, what is Herb going to bake? Just saying, honey. Perhaps some double chocolate chip cookies? Oh, no, raisin. I guess it'd be raisin cookies. Oh, yeah. So it'd have to be 24 to donate and 24 to keep. No. So, and what time slot do you want to work? There are several time slots, as Marianne said. And you can see up here that you may decide you want to volunteer, and we hope you do. We hope everyone, if you can't volunteer, that you're there waiting for the employees to eat first. What did I say? Who gets to eat first?
You can tell you're a teacher. You know that.
Okay. All right. So after you decide what time you want to sign up for, then we would ask you to consider strongly thinking about donating. We suggest $25 to help defray the cost of the party. And if you do not want to wait for your check to be cashed, then I suggest you give money, because it takes a while for the checks to be cashed. I'm told that's been sort of a sore thumb kind of thing from the previous years, and that's just the way the finance has to work. So I promise, if you give dollars, 25 or whatever you decide you might want to give, we will deposit that right away. Whatever is not needed for the expenses of the party will go to the employee fund for next year. Did you know that, Sandy?
Yes.
There you are. Yes. Okay. All right. So just wanted you to know that. Okay, Marianne.
One quick thing, please. We're asking for a donation from each resident, not each resident. We have 262 approximately independent living, 262 independent living residences. So when your neighbor visits you, your $25 donation is per apartment, per house, not per person. Yes?
Yes. Or whatever you decide.
Exactly. Any questions?
Any questions? We're happy to answer questions as far as what we know.
No question.
Oh, good. Suggestions?
No question.
Suggestions?
But a comment. For them, it's giving per household. For the Employee Christmas Fund, it's giving per person. I want to emphasize that, not per household, per person, per resident. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandy.
Well, thank you. We look forward
Thanks.
to
We
seeing you on
appreciate it.
December 11th.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
I thought we were going to make bourbon brownies. I'm sorry.
I think she was trying to trip me. Everybody saw that, right? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Or morning. Close enough. Going to go through a couple quick things. Don't have a lot today, but as some of you might have seen, we do have a new station in the cafe. It's called Fins and Feathers. It is to help out a growing number of our residents that do have some dietary restrictions as far as alpha-gal and things like that related. So I just want to remind everybody, please, a lot of those may look appealing, but if you don't have a dietary restriction, please allow the residents that do to eat that first before you go through the line. So that station will be, like I said, alpha-gal friendly, dairy-free, and it is open nightly from 4:30 to 6, or whenever it runs out. It will still be there at 7 if not. So, and then, yep, that's it, sorry on that one. And then upcoming events. So Sunday Social, I do believe, is today. We have a new ice cream cooler, which should come out tonight. So we will be doing a couple more flavors of hand-dipped ice cream tonight. So should be fun. Tomorrow night, as always, I think a staff favorite as well as a resident is the bridge event, Halloween. So everybody get your costumes ready. In addition to that, I do have a new or another little buffet table that we're going to have set up with some wine tasting going on tomorrow night as well. So that should be fun. And then we do have a regular wine tasting coming up on the 5th, Thanksgiving pie sale tasting on the 7th, and then on November 12th, trivia night. And then this is just my spiel every time. Please remember, if you want to come early for cocktails, let us know, and return your green boxes. It seems like we never have enough of those. So, any questions? All right. Everyone have a great morning. Thank you. Oh, got a question.
The soft serve that you have out there, some people have said that sometimes the vanilla is dairy-free and sometimes is not, and that the chocolate is usually almost dairy. Do you have any information, or could you post those things as they come up?
So yeah, we do. We actually just started carrying Hershey's soft serve, so that will not be dairy free. But we also do have on occasion. It is a powdered mix. It has, I do believe it's sodium caseinate, which is a derivative of milk in it. But it is usually friendly for people that are dairy free. So if that's an allergen that you know of, that you can't have for dairy, let us know, but we will make sure that we put it up there the next time that we put that in. And maybe we can do a chocolate and a vanilla, one dairy-free, and alternate back and forth, so. All right, everyone have a great morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Lisa Martin, Director of Resident Life and Wellness for Independent Living, and I'm not nearly as fun as the Christmas crew, but I'll go ahead anyway. I just have a couple items for today. I was asked to remind you that we do have a group of residents, the Gadget Geeks, that will assist you with techie things. And you can find a list in the back of your resident directory there. So feel free to give them a call if you have any issues you need help with. And then also this past Friday in our transitions meeting, we discussed maintaining an independent living and some of the tools that help you do that as you age in place. And this Friday, we will hear from the team in our skilled nursing unit on the ins and outs of rehab. We had a great group in attendance last week. I was very pleasantly surprised. So thank you for your interest and engagement. And then for those of you who could not attend, we're going to have these recordings up on the resident website. Do you have any questions for me or my office? Thank you.
So I wanted to give you a update on the foundation since I haven't done this for a while, I think, and we just finished the end of our fiscal year, September 30th. So first of all, I want to say thank you. We had a great fundraising year this year, and we just couldn't be happier. Residents, family members, the Lynchburg community, all kinds of people came out and gave money to the foundation this year, and it's really impacted what we can do here for residents and staff, and so we really appreciate your generosity this past fiscal year. So there are a lot of numbers here, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but the big news is we raised $530,550, and that's just for total giving, annual giving. So those are the gifts that you gave that were a response to our appeals that we sent out 3 times last year, or if you make a memorial gift or any kind of gift that you make to the foundation during the fiscal year. And so that's the money that we raised. It was $160,000 more than in FY23. Yeah, wow. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you to all of you. 45% increase over last year and 132 more gifts. So we just couldn't have been happier with how the fiscal year finished out. The one thing I did want to mention, the Employee Assistance Fund, that's the fund that we raised to help emergency needs of our staff members. We raised almost 78,000 for that group this year when we did that solicitation back in February. So thank you so much for that. The Fellowship Endowment Fund, as you know, that's our key fundraising priority every year. This number was 60,000 more than it was last year. So thank you for your generous support of the Fellowship Endowment Fund. It's so important. That's our mission. You know, we are committed to that for every single resident here from now till forever. The other Restricted Purpose Fund is another one I wanted to mention. Angela, you want to go to the next slide? So this is what makes up that Restricted Purpose Fund, and that was about $60,000 more than it was in FY23. So this is made up mostly of all the education funds, but also the Nature Trail Fund, and a couple things I want to mention. So we did do an appeal for Fran Albertson and her Garden Angels, and we raised 7,000. I can't quite see that, but you can see the number for Fran and her team. And Fran was just thrilled with that money. So thank you so much. They've already started using it, and we're thrilled with what we'll probably see in the coming months and years with the generous donations made to the Garden Angels. We also have a new education fund this year, which we were thrilled about. This is a $25,000 fund, which is unrestricted. So it's restricted for education, but unrestricted as far as what we can do with those funds. So if we have a staff member who has a student loan, we can use that money to pay off their student loan. So this gives us a little more flexibility than we have with some of the other education funds. So we were thrilled to receive that gift this year. And then the other thing, the Healthcare Enrichment Fund, you remember that was one of our program funds that we raised money for. This is a fund that was a combination of the old Music and Memory Fund and, what's he doing? I saw him walk back there. I didn't know what he was doing. And the Healthcare Activities Fund. So we had a very generous gift from daughters who lost their mother this year, and they were just so thrilled with the care that their mother received. They gave a very nice donation to the Healthcare Enrichment Fund. So these are enrichment activities for all areas of care: assisted living, memory care, and health care. So thank you. Next slide, Angela. So all in all, as I said, $530,000 for the total annual giving, but then just before the end of the fiscal year, we received a very generous estate gift from Reverend Howell Franklin. I don't know if any of you know or remember Reverend Franklin. He made an estate, gave obviously a large estate gift. We received the first distribution last fiscal year for $100,000. And then we were supposed to receive a smaller distribution sometime this year. And just a few days before the end of the fiscal year, I received a check for $268,750. So, and then apparently there's going to be another distribution sometime this year. So, wow is right. A gift like that just is, we used to call them in the fundraising world pennies from heaven. And so we were thrilled to receive that very generous gift. So all in all, $888,768. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. So now on to FY25. You have already received this appeal in your mailbox a couple weeks ago. As I said, our Fellowship Endowment Fund, raising money for that is our key priority every year. I also had said that we raised $279,000 last year. So just, I'm not going to read all these things to you, but you know it is our core mission. one thing I did want to mention is that fellowship grants are, they are never paid for by resident fees. All of the money that is paid for our fellowship needs come from the foundation. In the past, Westminster Canterbury Lynchburg does have some money that they subsidize these funds when we don't have enough, but we've had such generous estate gifts that have been designated for fellowship, as well as the Fellowship Endowment Fund is doing quite well in our truest assets, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. We have 7 folks that are on fellowship currently. Over the year, it's ranged from 7 to 9, back to 7. So currently it's at 7. And our in FY24, those we spent, those expenses are $310,000 as opposed to FY23 where they were $353. So we were able to pay those expenses with everything that the foundation has this year. So, you know, that's our ultimate goal, is for the foundation to be able to pay for all of the corporation's needs for fellowship. Any questions about the fellowship? The Fellowship Endowment Fund, I will tell you, is at $10.1 million right now, and the whole portfolio for the foundation stands at 11.7. So wonderful, yes. With market gains and some of the generous gifts we've received, we're thrilled with that. So as that number grows, our ability to be able to take care of our fellowship needs will just get better and better. All right, next slide, Angela. All right, and the last thing I wanted to mention is after the day after election, we're going to do our last of the financial workshop series. We're starting our third group, our third series will start in January or February, I believe. But this is the end of our second grouping. And so John Hall from Lynchburg Wealth Management is going to be right here in the Commons on November 6th. It should be interesting the day after Election Day. We'll see what he's brave enough to talk about. You know, who knows if we'll even know what's going to go on at that point in time. But there's a little blurb about exactly what he's going to be talking about. And so we do have space available. So if you're interested in this, or you know somebody who might be interested, please let Jane Massey know. Give her a call or send her an email and let her know that you'll be there. We want to make sure we have seats for everybody. All right, any questions for me just with regard to the foundation? Thank you.
Good morning. I'm William Deal, Director of Pastoral Care at the Chaplain. Just a few announcements, reminders. I've changed the way that I'm emailing out death notifications. I was sending them via just a mass email list, but for whatever reason in the past year or so, I wasn't able to send them to just all residents, so I had to send them to Brookhaven residents and Creekside, and so I was having to send like 7 or 8 different emails. It's not that big of a deal, but Jane Massey got me access to the constant contact that she uses for other announcements, newsletters, the COVID announcements. Thank the Lord we don't have many of those anymore. But what I heard from a few folks was they saw the rows, but they didn't get anything from me. So if you are not receiving constant contact emails from Jane or from me, and I've sent out a couple of death notifications in the past week and a half, let me or Jane know. What may have happened is that you were once subscribed and you either intentionally or unintentionally unsubscribed from the constant contact email. So I say that, thank you for your grace and understanding with working out those kinks. If for some reason you hear of a neighbor, a friend receiving one of these death notifications and you check your email and it's not there, give me a call, send me an email, and we'll do what we can to figure that out. I promise you I'm not intentionally trying to keep any information from you. This coming Sunday, we do have our All Saints Memorial Service in the chapel at 4 p.m. It will be live streamed on TV 971, the in-house TV, and as well as our YouTube page. I'm also working with Jane that an email will be sent out to all residents, Azalea Plan members, Canterbury Club, family, whoever receives any email with that YouTube link. It will be live streamed, as I said, but you could also view that at any other time. What we recognize is that there may be family members who don't live nearby, or maybe some of you are not able to attend but would like to virtually attend at a later time. That will be up there. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Also, as many of you may know, I lead a Bible study. It's Digging the Details every Monday morning in the chapel at 10:15. It took us 2 years to get through the Gospel of John. We got through Hebrews. Well, we've got one more week of Hebrews. We got through that a little bit quicker. We will be embarking on Isaiah beginning November the 11th. We won't try to do all 66 or however many books, but we will be doing probably, well, I'm not going to say 12 weeks because sometimes we get talking in one way and we have to come back the next week. But that is open to anybody. It's a wonderful group, lots of great insight, questions, discussion, but just want to share that as a reminder. Additionally, we have several other Bible studies and groups that meet. That information is on the chapel page of the resident website, as well as the little information slots down there by the activity sign-ups. But if you ever have any questions, please let me know. Here for you for whatever, whenever, however I can be there with you. I think that's it. Any questions, comments, concerns? Yes, Elizabeth back there. Yes, thank you, Elizabeth. She said, please remind everyone about the Caregiver Support Group. I will do just that. On the third Thursday of the month at 10 a.m. in the chapel, there is a Caregiver Support Group. This was formerly the Alzheimer's Dementia Caregiver Support Group. We have removed that, the diagnosis identifier, realizing that many of you fall under that category regardless of the diagnosis of your spouse or loved one. What we recognize is we would do anything for our loved one, but sometimes that means that it weighs heavy on us, and you don't have to do that alone. I've heard from a few folks that say they would love to come, but that's not a good time. They've got a standing obligation. If we need to, have a second group that meets, or if you just need some one-on-one time, I can listen. I can cuss, cry, scream, yell with the best of them. So whatever you may want to do. But thank you, Elizabeth, for that reminder. And I'll try to remember to get that in that week's newsletter. It's just remembering it. I'm going to write that down now. Anything else? Yes, sir.
I just want to recognize you for the wonderful job you did for Lee's service. It was wonderful. And to remind people that it is on YouTube.
Because he didn't have a microphone, I'll repeat it. Bill was just offering words of affirmation after Lee Van Horn's service, and that means a lot. The service is still on YouTube. If you weren't able to be there or didn't tune in to TV 971 for it, it was a packed house. I do want to thank our EVS team for very hurriedly getting extra chairs in there. It was the first funeral that I've ever preached where someone was sitting directly beside the pulpit and behind it. But it really was a testament to Lee's life. For anybody that ever interacted with Lee, you know how big a heart he had. He was willing to go and to do and to help with a smile on his face. So I appreciate that. And with that, let me just say one thing, because we have had several deaths and I've been in conversation with several family members. I've said this once and I'll keep saying it. When the time comes for you or for your loved one, I am here and I am available to do whatever, but I am not possessive over this. You may have a pastor, a priest, a friend, a rabbi, whoever it may be. I have no possession over funerals and memorial services, but I do want to make myself available. If it's reserving the chapel and making sure the lights are on, if it's helping get bulletins printed, great. If it's leading the service, great. If it is reading something but not having primary leadership over it, great. However I can help, but I want you to know that I never assume that I have a role in any of these services, but I am available for however I can help. So, Bill, again, thank you for those kind words, and everybody else, thank you for your love and support, not just for me, but for all of the staff. To see the resident turnout for Lee's service, and to hear from those who stayed in their apartments or cottages and watched on TV is really remarkable. And from their family, I just want to say thank you again.
Before I get to the administrative report, a couple things I forgot to mention. With regard to the foundation, the Impact newsletter will go out probably sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas. This is where we acknowledge all of our donors who have made gifts to the foundation in FY24, as well as details about each of the funds and how they impacted our community. So be on the lookout for that. The second thing is a marketing update. We are having a marketing open house this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So we've got 40 people coming from the community, and they're coming to see the cottages and one-bedroom apartments. So there'll be more activity. Just be aware. Just wanted to let you know so you're not surprised when you see a bunch of folks in the main lobby around 2 o'clock. All right, some things Sean wanted me to bring to your attention since it is gift giving season. He wanted me to go through some of these things, so I'm just going to read them. If you have any questions at the end, please feel free to ask. So this is with regard to gift giving. Employees are prohibited from accepting gifts, tips, loans from residents. Please do not give employees gift cards, even if they're leaving our employ. Sometimes an employee moves to seasonal or limbo status, but they are still employed by Westminster Canterbury. If you want to send a card to an employee who is out due to illness or maternity leave, please take your unsealed and stamped envelope to the Human Resources Office, and they'll address that card for you. And please consider, which Sandy mentioned, making a, yes, here she is, consider making a gift to the Employee Christmas Fund. That's the best way to honor our staff here and to let them know how much you care. All right.
I have just one question.
Yes.
It was my understanding that we could give them food. Thank you. It was my understanding that we could give the employees food, the pies. Is that prohibited now too, also?
Angela, do you know the answer to that question?
Food is okay if they share it with everyone in their department.
Oh, we can't give it to them to take home?
No.
Okay.
Thank you for that question, Mary Ann. That clarifies it somewhat. So this is also dual relationships, so the relationships between the residents and staff members. So always want to keep this on a professional level. You should not spend time with staff on their days off, discussing your finances or estate plans, unless it's with me, consuming alcohol with staff, and asking staff to work with you on the side. Those are prohibited with this relationship here between staff members and residents. And then the last thing, it's about notary services. So WC staff are not permitted to notarize or witness personal documents, documentation for residents. We have the Bank of the James, and they are limited, but they do offer that service based on bank policy and staff discretion. Always have proper ID as approved by the bank, and have any witnesses that you might need. For last will and testament, power of attorney, or any trust-related documents, it's best to contact your attorney and have them notarized through the attorney's office. Any questions about any of that? All right, I think that's it for CONFAB. Any questions? call it a day. Wait, here's one. Hey, Bill.
Good morning. How much comes from Melinda on a monthly basis that goes to the employee Christmas fund? Do we have a rough figure? Since we're $100,000 short and they're going to make 2 deposits that are 1/6 of what they get from people who hold this out of their, or add it to their bill every month?
I do not have that information. It was not given to me this time around. And I also know that sometimes we might have difficulties with an average because there are some, and I'm one of them, that basically have started giving through Melinda, but only give one check. And mine will come out this month for the whole year instead of monthly. And there are others that give a single check maybe 2 or 3 times a year through Melinda so that it's deducted directly. Since I was only writing 1 check a year, I thought that's not what I want to do, so I talked to Melinda and found out that I could give that direction, but not necessarily monthly, but give it staggered however I want to. So to look at an average, I can't tell you that. When I did serve on the committee in the financial area, working sometimes with Ruth and with some of the other chairs that I've worked with over the years, they might comment on they received this much this month from Melinda, but it does vary. So it's not a constant amount every month.
Okay, that answers that. I have another thing to bring up, and
Yeah.
that was this morning at 7:04, the lights went out in the parking lots, and sunrise wasn't until 7:37, and it was pretty dark. So for those employees who are coming in, they should be kept on. They may have started what it's going to be when we drop
change.
back to slow time or fall time, but
Right.
anyway, someone ought to keep it going until we change clocks.
Matt, he's got a thumbs up. Matt, thumbs up. I think the time changes this weekend, right?
Right.
Sunday.
Morning. Thank you for that. Yes, I'll have Rick check the timers on those lights.
Thank you, Bill. Sandy?
I just remembered that last month I was given that during the month of June, July, and August, the money that came in then was $32,838.25 for those 3 months. But those are our quiet months during the summer. So I don't know that necessarily that's the amount that comes in, say, on an average. And she didn't say whether it came from Melinda or how it came. But that is the information that I was given last month for the months of June, July, and August. Does that help a little bit?
Debbie?
If you'll go look at the resident council committee reports that's in the library, she reports it every month, and you can see what the monthly totals are.
Did everybody hear that? Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Have a good day. Thank you.